Welcome to our first Serious Play interview. Today we're going to talk with Rood, the chief conspirator of Serious Play, and sort of the guy who's been observing and paying attention to Serious Play for years. Ray, today I want to hear your story of discovering Serious Play.
Well, Amy, is the case with most discoveries in my life. The discovery is embedded in a story. So I'm going to tell you a story today, and I'll give you the shorthand version of the story.
Okay.
My discovery of Serious Play begins probably when I started my first job, which was a junior high school social science or social studies teacher in the Mission District in San Francisco many years ago. Actually, it was in the 60s. I was a very idealistic teacher, young teacher, graduate of San Francisco State, going to change the world of education. And I studied under a very unique, somewhat eccentric master teacher when I was doing my student teaching, a person who really wrote the curriculum for the junior high curriculum in San Francisco. And she didn't do things in an ordinary way, and she encouraged me to not do things in an ordinary way. My first year experience was very disillusioning. What I found was that the majority of the teachers were not as engaged as I expected them to be. They couldn't wait to leave the classroom when they were legally able to leave, and they didn't stick around after school. They seemed to just be getting through their work. In the teacher's lounge, when they talked about education, was usually complaining about the administration, how hard the administration was making it for them to do their jobs. And they described it as such. Following that experience, I moved to Southern California and went to graduate school. And during that time, I met a person who happened to be a principal of an intermediate school, and he was asking me about my experience teaching, and I was subbing at that time while I was going to graduate school, and I told him what I just said to you, and he says, "Oh, I have a faculty full of the same kind of teachers. There's only very few unique people who do things that are differently, and they are really really engaged." Very different than the majority of the classes. And I don't know, Amy, if you ever can recall such a teacher that you had that sticks out in your mind that would not represent the norm.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I grew up in rural America, and so we had combined classes, and I had a combined 4th and 5th grade class. And my teacher, Mr. Briggs, was totally outside of the norm. I remember him teaching us how to maybe math skills or writing skills, and ask us to write how to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And he followed our directions step by step. There was peanut butter and jelly all over the classroom. But yeah, he definitely was a serious player.
Well, my friend Gary and I started talking about, well, why is it only these rare individuals that are so engaged and so engaging in the classroom? We came to the conclusion that it was that the majority of teachers were not really expressing themselves uniquely or creatively in and through what they were doing, and which led me to really investigate what is creativity, and how does creativity relate to the teaching experience. That in turn led really the two of us to create a course called The Development of the Creative Teaching Personality. Our assumption was twofold. One, that every person really is creative. It's not just the people in the arts, in the professional performing arts, or in athletics. It's everybody, and everybody has creativity. It has form and structure. It can be named. And so that we said, now, if teachers could experience their own creativity, identify it, and that apply it in and through what they were doing, it may change this equation really of really engagement in the classroom. So we created this course. The last part of this kind of where it came to discovery and the naming of serious play, what I realized that creativity is not only an act, it's a process, but first and foremost, it's an attitude. And when you identify your creativity and you express it, it's really play. It's you're just being yourself. It's enjoy. You're enjoying yourself, and if you apply it in and through what you do professionally, what you get paid to do, which an audience really needs it or wants it, which is the serious part of life. You put that together, as I would tell my students, now that's serious play, and that was the initial discovery of the term and of the first part of the story about developing and applying serious play that ultimately is leading us to this blog site and our conversation.
This is great. Let's maybe put a comma, as you would say, in our conversation right now, but I have lots of questions for you next time about creativity and how people can learn to name and identify and express their own creativity. This is a great conversation. Can we continue it at a later date?
Hey, I think it sounds like serious play to me, Amy.
All right. Thanks, Ray.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.